new moon reading for July 17th. Cards were just flying out of the deck, and I stopped and started a couple times. In the last cycle, a lot of changes have been made, and things have been learned, and currently some of this wisdom is going into effect, and we are also seeing the results from things that we've been working on and things that we've done. We might have a decision coming up, an important decision that relates to the whole energy of our lives. In the real world. So that's a good way to look at decisions. Like, it's good to feel into them with your heart and try to kind of pick up on the vibe of either decision in the way that makes you feel at peace. Not necessarily like, bouncing off the walls excited. Not necessarily high on, dopamine or something. Although, that can be a sign that that's where our interest lies. But the one that feels more peaceful is a good one. So it's a time of emotional attunement. At least that would be a good thing to do right now. If your emotions are in balance, your life will follow suit. If your emotions are way out of balance, weird stuff will happen, and it's just bad juju. And I know sometimes things happen that, of course, your emotions would have an upset. But it's important to try to do things for ourselves and be around people where we do feel at peace and happy and, excited for the future, because that helps us to manifest properly. Have you ever been in a whacked out emotional state and just manifested something bad? I know I have. Like a traffic ticket, or, even a fender bender. That's kind of what I'm talking about. It means your thoughts are running amok. Your emotions are trying to let you know this doesn't feel right. The way you're approaching life, thinking about it, is like putting you in danger of attracting weird stuff. So watch out for that. What would be, I was going to ask, the High Priestess in reverse. Oh, that's weird. Mirror world. What would be, I was going to ask, for right now, that's very strange. That has a lot to do with reality creation, in my opinion. You see the moon mirrored there? And the water and the sky, I think. Interesting. Truly. The spiritual reality mirrors into the physical world, and our emotions are clues. They let us know if we're on the right or wrong track. Our thoughts are better off blank than neutral. Easier said than done. Neutral, no, they're better off, like neutral, they're better off blank the negative. Neutral, the negative. Neutral is similar. You can be thinking about something that just doesn't evoke a lot of upset or anything like that. Like, that's why people use steady sounds or candles for a meditation point of focus, or their breathing, because it helps us to focus on something that isn't, going to trigger a bunch of other stuff, because thoughts are just, always running. We try to gain control over them, and it helps to do it first thing in the morning. And we don't want to let them spiral into like negative directions. I find that doing art helps a lot with that too, because you're focused on that. So a lot of reality creation is thought creation, is like, is curating your thoughts. You can tell by your emotions if you're real close or far off base. So your personal, good luck stream, basically. Everything comes out in a really definite way. We just relax. We don't try to force anything. The moon in reverse. Interesting. So, if you've been struggling at all with your thoughts and seeing results that you might not have wanted, it might feel like you're kind of lost in the sauce, basically. It happens to everyone. Humans have a hard time, but yeah, it looks like it's a good time to just kind of relax into it. So if you're feeling like that, back off, do some self-care. I don't care who you are, there's got to be something that you would enjoy. It could be anything. Think about what makes you feel excited, what leaves you feeling inspired afterwards. Sending something at home, even going for a walk, even anything. It doesn't matter what we do, it's all working on that kind of energy matrix, and it's a feeling state. It's working on our own personal life feeling state. Do you have anything else? What is this? Ah, interesting. Okay, those two came out. So it kind of looks like to me the old matrix of bondage has to die so that we can truly live. So if there's something in your life that feels like a big problem, just be ready to let go of it, because it's probably time to move on. Bondage can seem unbreakable and be lifted the next day if we change our internal reality enough. Some things can really seem impossible, but just when approached from a different angle or with some new knowledge, can just dissolve and fall apart. But sometimes they might involve our whole life changing. If you're ready, ask for it. You can ask your angels. You can ask to be put in touch with your guides, your primary guide right now. the benevolent forces of this universe. It's good to try to connect with them or any benevolent ancestors you might have for, to gain wisdom and to help you to transmute any energy that's holding you back in this life. The bars of our cage will dissolve when we don't really vibrate at the same frequency of the cage anymore. So take a big step back, because getting into it with our problems can just reinforce them energetically. It's actually better to withdraw, and even if you have to put your attention on something so neutral as, to be almost ridiculous, that's actually a pretty well-known technique, so, it can help just to change your energy. It's better to focus on a little bug crawling on the window than your problems, Although it is more challenging. Our brains want to run around in circles with all of our problems. It just takes time to train them that there's a different approach. We don't want to be creating the bars to our cages. Yeah. There's a way out. Keep the faith. There's a way to transmute anything and feel all right. There's a way to integrate sorrow into our life. It might involve becoming more spiritual than you thought you ever would. For example, if someone passed away, sometimes we just learn to connect with them in a different way. Although it's not easy when it happens. It's not. Alright. After this whole cycle, whoa, after the cycle, it's fine. Out. Make sure we are looking at the blessings that we do have and make that a habit. We don't want to be... Sometimes you don't know what you have until... And it's funny if something really hurts you or dissolves and you didn't want it to, sometimes everything else can kind of seem gray for a while. But it isn't that we don't like those things. It's just how our minds work sometimes. Everything else will seem... Make sure we don't take those things for granted, though, if we do actually appreciate them. Yeah, so... it's okay to be sad for a while. And then we're going to try to focus on what good emotions we can. And that's why it's good to keep it simple, because then when something amazing happens, it's so cool, actually, because we're used to just deriving satisfaction from small and simple things. That's pretty cool when that happens. Yeah, we can kind of almost be in bondage if we get too caught up in material stuff too. At least worrying about it too hard. Sometimes the simplicity of the energy totally enough. And it makes the manifestation so good because, you know, they're even better than that. Since he really came out. Anyone can take time to appreciate the energy that's available, the energy of the morning, the energy in the sky, of pets, friends, and it helps us build our way up to greater and greater manifestations. So if we get ourselves in balance in smaller ways, we build upon that energetically until we are functioning at a higher level, and it starts to trickle into the physical world rather quickly if we really find that internal balance. So look out for sorrow, and if something is happening that you don't have control over, just relax, because it'll run its course. Eventually if you make the decision to, you'll come back to yourself. You'll come back to your infinite self. And it's not having small thoughts about silly things. It's appreciating everything on this planet. And it's having higher spiritual knowledge trickle in. And everything is always changing. And your life will change too. It already is. So that inner wisdom will also be expressed in your world and reality. Keep some faith. All is really well. If something seems insurmountable, ask your angels to help you with it. Ask for wisdom from your ancestors and have some faith in yourself. Okay. Talk to you next time. Have a great month. Bye.